it's never going to stop. It's just going to keep happening, and it's going to happen in more places, and it's going to continue to keep happening until you're not safe anywhere, until we devolve into what we used to make fun of, what the right wing used to make fun of Iraq and Afghanistan for, how horrible those places were with all the terrorists being around. That's what it's going to become. We're becoming that way here. Every time I see a truck with a flag in the back of it, I see no difference between that truck and the pictures of trucks we saw with that black flag in the back, if you know what country I'm talking about, what group I'm talking about. Every time I see a picture of somebody with their kids armed with AR platform weapons, I see no difference between that and kids that are being taken, that have pictures taken of them where they're holding AKs and fighting something they have no idea about. It's not different anymore. One is domestic and one is foreign. That's it. They're both terrorists. We need meaningful reform for firearms. All the 2A people can just leave because you have no idea what you're talking about. 2A has nothing to do with personal rights. You should be worried about that. I will do lives coming up talking about that, and you're free to join in. We have discussions, and we keep them that way. It's not a point to argue, but to discuss things. But your 2A freedoms are not for you as an individual. Your states give you that right at this point. You should be asking for some sort of federal right or new amendment to protect your firearms rights. But we're already done with this. Where was the good guy? Where was the good guy? Highways aren't even safe now, right? Because we know as a trend, it doesn't just stop at one. It continues to happen. Once one happens, another happens. Before it was, oh my God, this never happened in a grocery store. Now it continues to happen there. Schools are the most common, but it just keeps getting worse and worse. Shopping malls. What else? How much more is it going to take, People have been outraged on here, and when it comes to the question of how much more it's going to take, I'm going to quote, I forget who said it, but it was said back when the first elementary school had this happen. And it was, as soon as we were okay with kids passing away, it didn't matter anymore. That was it. That was the limit at one point, right? As long as it's not kids, we're okay with that. And unfortunately, once it happened, nothing stopped it. And it's gotten worse. So there's no argument about the fact that we need to be doing something. Now, I am glad to see people on both sides coming together saying, yeah, the dad should be sentenced. The dad is just as guilty. Absolutely. And for those of you that have said that, I am happy that you were saying that. We need more, though. We need more. This has to be enough. If not, then I don't want to hear anybody complaining anymore about their rights being stripped away because you're just making the sacrifice to let children go. At this point, luckily, it wasn't children as far as I know at this point. And this article I pulled is an older article because I know that there's been an update to that, but I just wanted to get a reaction to this just happening. And it's ridiculous. So I don't know where we get to a point where we stop this. I don't know when it happens. I'm really hopeful that we get Harrison, but I don't think that that's going to do anything for the issue at hand. I don't think that's going to do anything. I don't think they're going to be able to change anything. Even if we get a supermajority, I don't think it's going to make a difference, but we'll see what happens. Again, watch out for me when I'm on lives. You may want to follow so you can see when I do this and we can discuss this, but this is not something I'm going to fight with in comments or we're going to deal with in comments. You want to leave your comment, go ahead. If you're going to be, rude, it's just going to get removed. I'll just warn you now, but yeah, it's getting ridiculous. I didn't make a comment on the thing that happened to Appalachia because it's not new. What else is there to say on that? I posted an image and that got some attention, but we've become desensitized to it. I'm desensitized to it. It's not that I don't care that it's happening. It's just there's nothing I can do about it at this point. And as a society, we're just not doing anything. We're failing our children. We're failing our people. And we're letting ourselves sink down to a third world nation in terms of how armed people are. So anyway, guys, like I said, feel free to leave comments. Be civil with each other. If you're not, I am going to end up removing the comments. The comments will be monitored as usual. So anyway, guys.